Well, we wanted to open up a coffee shop. I decided that coffee was my new passion and was not too excited about how most coffee shops were pretty sterile in their looks, all steel and Teflon. I just felt like Texans wanted something that felt like Texas. So coffee, Texas. I came up with the idea of having an actual barn as the dining hall. And silly me thought I would find a barn suitable in Texas. We just didn't have the weather or the wood to make Texas a site for a barn. So we finally found one in Kentucky, of all places, a beautiful 100 and now 75-year-old barn. My wife calls it bait and switch because she thought I was just opening a coffee shop. But as we got into the construction of the barn, I realized, because I had a past experience with music, I was a lyricist for alternative rock and roll bands and country bands. And that experience in the studio taught me a lot about acoustics. That barn, all that dense wood, was ideal for music, live music. So we brought in two sound engineers independent of each other and said, hey, what do we need to do to make this room sound worthy? And every time they both said the same thing, that's what we did. And the end result was what we think is one of the best rooms for music in the entire state. That, when we said, okay, we're gonna do music, well, you've got to have more than just coffee. So we expanded our menu, and it eventually turned into a mostly dinner show event. In the beginning, we thought we would have local artists, maybe some regional Texas artists, but because of that great Texas hospitality that we offer, the wonderful food, and the acoustics of the room, the coolness of the room, the artists just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It used to be that when an artist called and said, hey, do you have a date for B.J. Thomas? Someone like that, I would just be in shock because I had no thoughts ever that we would have that scale of artists. Now we have national and international artists coming through all the time. One of the items that we offer is chicken fried steak. And we became so famous for our chicken fried steak that every time we took the chicken fried steak off our menu, then people would get mad at us. It didn't matter how fancy the artist was, foo-foo, jazz, or classical music. If chicken fried steak wasn't on there, then people would get mad at us. So then we have our executive chef, Dan McEachern. He specialized in barbecue, special rubs, et cetera, and so forth, and had always said, hey, can we add barbecue, at least occasionally, to the menu items?
We smoke our briskets for 16 hours with a mix of red oak and hickory, as we found that that's been the best combination of smoke for our brisket.
So we came up with our barbecue menu that we offered every once in a while, and guess what happened? People came expecting barbecue to be on that menu as well. So we didn't have the facilities to constantly cook barbecue there. So we said, okay, why don't we open up a restaurant and have barbecue as its main product, and then we can have barbecue at both locations. We're so well known for music that when it came time to decide what is going to be the environment for Dosey Doe Breakfast and Barbecue, well, we had two things. One is we have occasional live acoustic solo shows that happen in the evenings. The other thing that happened is they said, you know what, people keep giving us LPs, 45s and 33 RPM records from back in the day, because they don't know what else to do with them, and they know Dosey Doe's all about music. Well, over the years, we accumulated about 1,000 LPs, and we really had no opportunity to play them, and came up with the idea of, okay, we're gonna create a catalog at the barbecue restaurant. People can come in, pick what they want, or they can go on the website, pick ahead of time what they want to listen to, come in for lunch or breakfast, and we'll play it for them. One of the cool things about how we deliver that music is the room is surrounded with antique radios. And those radios are actually playing the music from the record player. So we're really proud of our community involvement. We try to say no. Usually we can't, because everybody's benefit is so worthy. We have benefits from cancer, kids' afflictions. We have a benefit that's ongoing right now with Rett. Rett is a rare but highly disabling affliction that happens with very young females. And in essence, their brain stops developing and they end up with a very short life. It has previously been unable to be diagnosed before birth, and they've made great strides that way to find a cure for that now. We actually have incorporated everything that we do at Dosey Doe with regards to music by having Dave Clements, who's our photographer at the barn. All those great black and white photos you see at the barn are by one photographer. He has teamed up with Kevin and Clint Black. Clint's niece, Kevin's daughter, had Rett. She died at a young age. So they teamed up to create a book, a photo book, a coffee table book. Over 200 of the world's greatest artists, from Dolly Parton to the Eagles to B.J. Thomas. Over 60 of those photos are from Dosey Doe itself. And they're all raising a hand, signifying that they're having that picture taken for the Rett benefit. 100% of the proceeds from that book go to Rett. And so we're really proud of that. It is a phenomenal book. So if you're into music, all the artists have something to say about why they're in the book. Paul McCartney, it's just incredible who's in that book. So yes, many local benefits as well as international benefits, something we're very proud of to be a part of. All the things that we do at Dosey Doe is meant to take you away. We roast our own coffee. It's award-winning coffee. We harvest our own honey from our own beehives. We want you to have an experience, whether it's at our Alden Bridge Coffee Shop or at the Dosey Doe Breakfast and Barbecue location or at the Big Barn, that when you're there and when you leave, you go, wow, I don't know where the time went. My mind went somewhere else, happy, relaxed, and leave you with that woo-hoo feeling.